people sometimes question why we do consultancy and training, because then we're just giving people all the information. Like this podcast, for example, people sometimes come up to us and just say, why are you giving all the information for free? Why don't you? Because then if you give too much information for free, people won't come to you and pay for it. And my answer always is, the amount that we give out for free, whether it's on a podcast or whether it's just like one-to-one consultancy tailored to the business that we're working with, when we teach them something, they implement it. Especially in social media, it changes so drastically, and there's so many new things. Like Instagram is popping out a new feature every week, apparently. If you look at our YouTube right now, there's, by the time they've implemented it, there's new things to teach them. They're always going to come back. Welcome back to Fly High Media Talks. We are going to stop going on about our new set, even though it's not really a new set.
We love it, don't we? I mean, this is a bit irrelevant to people listening on, iTunes and stuff like that. But
it's true.
For everyone on YouTube and Facebook, then this is the perfect place to.
Actually, for the people on iTunes and Spotify, go over to the YouTube one, give that a cheeky view to look at our new set. We've got some professional gear and everything. We feel like movie stars because there's two massive lamps staring us in the face at. Well, I haven't watched 10 p.m. at night, near enough.
It's quite dazzling, actually, isn't it?
It is quite. I like that word, dazzling.
Makes us look better, though, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, it does. And we're thinking of popping something up on there that's more than just sort of the Fly High Media Knowledge Base logo. Maybe some. I want to put something moving on there, but I feel it might be like distracting people if they're watching it. But feel free to give us suggestions. I was thinking maybe something like me and Matt dancing on the loop, but that might be a bit distracting because we're really bad at dancing. Yeah. But either way, jumping into the topic, what we wanted to have a chat about today was consultancy services versus outsourced marketing. And what we mean by that is we offer several different, obviously, services, SEO optimization, search engine optimization, Facebook advertising, social media management, and other things related, obviously, into marketing. But then we offer all of those in two different stems. One of them is consultancy based, which is we go in and we train or audit and give strategies and give advice and consult on social media or search engine optimization or whatever it is. And the second one is we take over the strategy and we implement it ourselves in-house with ourselves and our team. So one is more hands-on, we actually take over the accounts and do things, and the other one is we literally just get on calls, put together a strategy, and then help the in-house team of the client or the client himself or herself put together the strategy that we set out. I enjoy both, and we get quite a lot of both. We get results in different ways from both. We know that, for example, one wouldn't work for the other, and vice versa. But Matt, what's your take on it, and what do you enjoy most?
Yeah, for me, whatever we can get results with, really. So I enjoy obviously helping businesses and see businesses prosper. So yeah, I enjoy both putting the strategies together and implementing them. I think when businesses look to decide what they want to do, so consultancy or completely outsource everything, it depends where you're up to in your business. Whether you can calculate the ROI on certain things, whether you've got the budget, things like that.
Budgeting is a big one. Big one. So consultancy services tend to be a bit more flexible because we can fluctuate the amount of support we offer. For example, whether we put together a strategy and set you free for a month and then touch base, or whether it's something that we get in touch every week, twice a week. We can limit that by how much we're involved. Obviously, the results may vary with that as well, but it's not something that can tank a campaign. Whereas with managed, I feel like we can't really, if a package for social media management of 3 different social media platforms and content creation, reporting and analytics is X amount, we can't really slash that in half and then say, okay, we're going to do half the job, because that won't work. It's a bit like saying I can't afford a full car, I'm just going to buy the front of it and forget the rest. It's like, it's not going to, you either do it or you don't do it at all. And that's how, we know we can't fulfill something if the resources aren't there, obviously. And that's what sometimes happens if we're speaking to some prospects, and this being transparent, if we're speaking to some prospects and we know they don't have the resources for it, then we say, how about we start off with a consultancy based to see, to show you sort of the changes that we'd implement and our advice and how that would work, how we've done it in the past. And then once we get some results and once we put some resources back in, we can see how we can do it on a larger scale by us taking over the accounts. So yeah, like Matt said, we enjoy both, but there's definitely advantages, disadvantages to both. One thing that surprises me, and I get this quite a lot, is people say to us, or to me anyway, that when people sometimes question why we do consultancy and training, because then we're just giving people all the information. Like this podcast, for example, people sometimes come up to us and just say, why are you giving all the information for free? Why do you, because then if you give too much information for free, people won't come to you and pay for it. And my answer always is, the amount that we give out for free, whether it's on a podcast or whether it's just like one-to-one consultancy tailored to the business that we're working with, when we teach them something, they implement it. Especially in social media, it changes so drastically, and there's so many new things. Like Instagram is popping out a new feature every week, apparently. If you look at our YouTube right now, there's, by the time they've implemented it, there's new things to teach them. They're always going to come back. I don't know how you feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, so like, you can go anywhere on the internet and find out what we're going to tell you, but like that's time consuming. You don't always know what to listen to. So, through our experiences and the research that we do all the time and the sources that we listen to, we listen to and read to, trusted sources. So we save you a lot of time, and whether your job within the business is full time, marketing, or it's part of your job's marketing, then you've got us to rely on when you're working on SEO or social. So yeah, consultancy is obviously a good option if you're looking to save time in that way as well.
It's a cliche sort of give a man a fish versus teach a man a fish situation, but I don't want to paint the give a man a fish, i.e. the managed services, I don't want to paint it in a negative light, because if you have budget and you don't have time, it's probably best to outsource to give a manager, because you have the resources to pay for it, you don't have the time to do it yourself. On the other hand, for usually smaller businesses, or businesses that want to have an in-house team at some point, they have the time, but they don't quite have the budget to pay thousands of pounds a month for everyone, for an agency to manage all of their accounts, whether it's SEO or social media. Then as consultancy can be a good option, because like I mentioned before, you can start small and scale up. We can sort of tailor different packages and on the level of support that we provide. Other agencies do the same, and that's where people that are sort of up and coming have slightly smaller budgets, smaller resources, but have more time to give, and are willing to learn that. So either whether it's for themselves, they want to learn how to do SEO properly, want to learn how to manage social media platforms effectively, whether that's organic or paid advertising, or simply we sometimes get even training where we come into a business and deliver training on SEO. We've just done some, actually, didn't we, just this week? Some SEO training in a company in Manchester, and what that will do is it will allow that team to grow and expand their knowledge on SEO, how to perform the strategies that obviously we brought forward and showed them, and then we're going to be able to expand the business that way. But that's not to mean that we just gave them the information that we hold entirely in our head, like the secret sauce or something, and then they're going to become us or anything. That's not how that works. So they're not going to be able to grow their own SEO agency and start helping others. They just know how to do it for themselves because we tailored that to them. It's not the same as sort of Googling SEO strategies and putting something together, because we actually did the research. We went and trained them on how to do it for them specifically. And hopefully they're getting results out of it and seeing a positive return. And what might happen in the future is they see that helped, and we work on a longer term basis, or they decide that we move over to managed services. I mean, it goes either way. We sort of, clients come to us for example. That's another thing. Clients come to us sometimes and they think they need managed, but we say, well, you've got the resources in house. Your budgets are this. I think we think you'd be better off with consultancy. So that's the sort of key difference between those. In terms of our workload, what do you reckon is the bigger part? I think our bigger part is actually managed at the moment, isn't it? Yeah,
it's managed at the moment. We want to get into more training and things like that. So
there'll be more training consultancy things coming from us. I think this podcast is one of them, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So we'll be doing a video at some point about sales funnels and things like that. But essentially, we put out all this free content, firstly to educate people, and then when people are more interested in actually, coming on board and, advancing the growth in the online marketing, the first thing that we offer is like the free consultations here for the right fit, and then after that, we offer like a power hour. So we go through like Facebook Ads Manager, go through Google Search Console, Google Analytics, that kind of thing, and then from there we offer like solutions, go through some strategies, and then hopefully go through either a hands-off approach or a consultancy retainer. So that's how we do it, the company.
An important thing to remember, or important question to ask yourself if you're looking to engage with a company, not necessarily ourselves, but anybody, on either consultative or managed, is for managed, are you the type of person that's willing to give up the control of managed? If bigger businesses that have dedicated teams and marketing managers that obviously have their own roles, that's a little bit different. But if you're a one-man band or you've got a couple of people on your team, we know that it sometimes might be quite difficult to give up a part of your business essentially to a random agency to manage, to be responsible for that voice that goes out on social media or Google or whatnot. We've had a few cases where it was quite difficult for the owners or the managing directors to actually give up that control, give that creative freedom, and not have as much input from their side. Which, if that's you, that's perfectly okay. And in that case, we think consultancy is best, purely because we can give the advice, we can give the strategy, and then you can go and implement it however you see fit. If you follow that or if you don't follow that, that's entirely your prerogative. But that's the strategy that we set out from obviously our experience and our research. But on the other hand, there are people that are happy to give up the control. You're the expert, go do that. When there's results, let me know, sort of thing. And that's the people that we love working with. People that see us as obviously the specialist in that field and
as a partner,
as a partner essentially, and give us that control. And there's that mutual trust that you're going to provide us with exactly what we need to be able to do this, and we're going to do this. But yeah, there are cases where, understandably, people don't want to give up that much control, and people take a lot of pride, especially entrepreneurs. I mean, we know this from ourselves. People take pride in building the business from scratch and then being able to build every single piece of it. Like I know people that have now scaled to massive businesses, and until now they manage their own website. They've built their own website, sort of thing. They're not web developer, but they've sort of strung it together. People take massive pride in that. But on the other hand, there are people that just want to give it away, and you're the specialist, you're going to do that, whilst I'm going to go and do what I'm good at, which is sales or whatnot. You have to figure out what kind of person you are. From our perspective, it's good that you figure out what kind of person you are, what you'd be most comfortable with, because the last thing we want to do is force you into consultancy and you really don't want to do it, you don't have the resources in-house to do it, or force you into giving up control of the accounts for us to do it, but secretly you're sitting in the background biting your nails because you don't sort of trust the process 100% yet. Either is okay. It's just important to know which one you are, to know which one fits the best from our point of view. We know agencies that, we're not going to name names, but we know agencies that will jump into either or, knowing that it doesn't feel right. We don't really want to do that because it's a lose-lose. It's no fun for us to work on it, and it's probably going to tank your results if there's no fun in the game, there's no skin in the game. So it's important for that you figure out with your agency what type of person, what type of management you are, and what fits best. You think that's fair? Yeah,
definitely. Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, well, we're running about 12-13 minutes in, I think, now. Any other points to touch on?
I don't think so, no. I mean, we've done another similar video before. When's it time to outsource your marketing? So that's similar. But we're kind of contrasting consultancy and what's it called? Managed, yeah.
It's late at night.
It is late at night.
We're here at like 10:30.
Yeah. So check out the other video as well. Just let us know your thoughts. Like, we'd be interested to find out. Was it easy if you've handed over your marketing? Was it easy to hand it over? was
And alternatively, if you haven't handed over anything before, if you only used consultants and trainers, let us know why, or in the other way, if you've never used consultants or trainers, always handed stuff over. Maybe you're that kind of person that doesn't want to do it, just wants specialists to do it, you know. So yeah, let us know in the comments what kind of person you are, what you'd like to. Ideally, if you were to choose one or the other, which one you like to choose. Maybe there's some questions that we haven't answered yet, or if you have some feedback that you want to put across, then feel free to, and I'm sure we can jump on it, or send us a message. Me and Matt answer all our DMs pretty much, and we'll jump back on it.
Sure.
Cheers for listening.
Thanks for listening.